What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Garage Golf Simulator. It is the 31st of May 2026. It's a Sunday. I just got home from the golf course. Exceptionally good round of golf. I got the back 9 on video. The front 9, you're just going to have to trust me on it when the round comes out. I'm not going to tell you what I scored, but we'll be adding a new ball to the trophy case. It was that good. Looks like GSPro has started up in not the correct resolution. Let's go ahead and restart that. I hope everybody had a good weekend. It is mostly over, at least for us in the time zones in the United States. You can see down here at the bottom middle-ish of the screen, we've got the camera pointed at the big moss hitting strip. I was watching part of my last video and I thought that was kind of a cool little addition, and there's not really shit in that corner anyway that's worth looking at. Let's see if GSPro will start at the correct resolution. I am not quite sure why it keeps doing this, but I haven't looked into it too much. It usually fixes itself after a restart. Okay, let's go through the roster here for today. My launch monitor is a ProTee VX overhead. We're using GSPro simulation software. Big moss hitting strip. SIG hitting mat. Today we're going to be using these Precept Laddie X golf balls, which is what I used on the golf course today to shoot that amazing score. You guys will see the back 9 out of that whenever I get that video processing done. We've got an array of cameras here everywhere. Okay, we got 2 capturing motion of the swing. We got one that's pointed at my ugly mug here, another one that's pointed at my ugly mug here, and those are just Logitech webcams. We've got a plethora of golf clubs smattered across the back wall here from my adventures in buying golf clubs. We're using SIGPRO tees here. Very durable. I very much enjoy them. So career round today, guys. Career round. We're adding another golf ball to the trophy case. And the only way that I could think of to not drink copious amounts of beer and whiskey in celebration was to come out here in the simulator and play a couple of rounds until it was too late to justify drinking on a school night. All right. We're still in our stupid golf clothes. I'm wearing my old FootJoy golf shoes, though. I'm not wearing my new FootJoy traditionals. Golf clubs today are going to be the ones that I've been running. Ping ISI, beryllium nickel, Bean Eye, circa 1998. And that's going to be sand wedge through 3-iron or 3-iron through sand wedge. We've got Ping G430 7, 5, and 3 woods in the bag. We've got a Lab DF3 putter here, which is what we're going to be using to 3-putt every green. And then we're going to be using 2 different drivers, Ping G440K set to 7.5 degrees, and a PXG 0811X that I'm also going to set to 7.5 degrees. 6 degrees. I don't use tall enough tees to use 6 degrees aloft. But guys, I think that's just about everything. My pee is a horrendous color, so I've got to try to drink both of these bottles of water over here before the end of the live stream. And now the PXG is also set at 7.5 degrees, so we're going to be running 2 different drivers. We'll alternate them or whatever I decide to do. And then we'll also look at some TikTok captures. I think I got a few of them, but I don't think I got too many. I don't think I got enough to cover an entire 2-hour live stream. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Golf clubs, golf clubs, golf clubs, golf clubs, golf clubs. 10. So we've got 10 TikToks. I'm positive that if I looked through TikTok for about 5 minutes, I could find probably half a dozen more. There's one. Boom. Add another to the chamber. That's just gross. We're not going to look at that one. So I intentionally have been liking TikToks that are golf related, because I want TikTok to add them to my algorithm. And it's following suit, thankfully. So we're going to have a lot more golf-related TikToks. But I think we've kind of... Let me see if I can find any more. Getting a lot of local content, which is really cool now. Okay. That's an okay one, I guess. Most TikToks are shit. All right, we've got enough TikToks. And just for the record, one TikTok is too many TikToks. But they do make good fodder for the channel, and they do break up the monotony. You guys, if you don't like cussing or adult topics, you may want to find something else to watch. If you do like cussing, adult topics, a little bit of humor, and some simulator golf, then you have found the right place. If you're new, subscribe if you want to. Don't if you don't. But it ain't going to kill you to hit that like button. And without further ado, let's see what tournaments we have available, because I think we still had a few ready to go. We got triple bogey. Hazel Rockets Golf League for this week, at least for me, is glitched, so we're going to have to wait until that renews tomorrow or Tuesday. So we got triple bogey live, and then maybe we'll let GSPro select a course for us. What we do during those segments is I let GSPro select a course that I have never played, and if it meets my requirements, which is usually that it's an 18-hole, not a par 3 course, we'll usually play it. But without further ado, let's play Triple Bogey live. If you guys don't know who Triple Bogey is, he's a pretty big channel, and he's got a really nice simulator. And we're playing Shaftesbury Open, Shaftesbury Glen Golf and Fish Club. We've already played this, but you can watch me play it again. 5,600 yard tees, Saturday pins, 6-foot gimmies. We got normal greens, normal fairways, which is good because GSPro will be able to handle those physics somewhat correctly. Elevation's going to be 49 feet, Stimp's 11, and we do have a breezy wind. We're going to shut off putting assist, because why the fuck not? And then we're going to auto concede at log 10, which is kind of weird because when you concede out of a hole on the normal golf course, not playing with professionals, you usually take a double par. You usually take a double par. Let's start out with the PXG driver. I just set it to 7.5 degrees. It's got a hazardous 60-gram shaft, red. I don't know what that means. Okay, good looking course. You can see the trees are blowing around in the wind. We've got a headwind here. It looks like you guys got a little bit of feedback. You're hearing some birds chirping and all of that other shit. So if you guys remember our last live stream, I think it was yesterday, this whole course has got, not the whole course, but there are a lot of holes that are kind of, the entire fairway's lined with sand traps, which I find kind of strange. But that's the thing about golf. It's not like basketball or football or even baseball. You're playing kind of on a different, you're playing on a different field, if you will, every single round. So PXG 0811X set to 7.5 degrees. And this thing is a tow machine. So we're going to be in a disadvantage every time we use the PXG, and every time we use the G440K, we're going to be at little more of an advantage. 7-iron here into the green, into a headwind. I actually am not sure if that's even enough club, but we'll give it a good whack. Well, I'm sure we're going to end up short here. Okay, toe ball. You guys will get warmed up. I left the golf course about an hour and a half ago, and then I went out on the deck and talked to my wife for a while before I decided to come out here. So give me a little bit of time to get warmed up. You can see we barely hit that golf ball. 41 yards to the pin. It's sort of toward the front. I'd say it's on the front third, center mass. We just need to hit a little son of a bitch here. And we're gonna need to putt to make par. We might be able to sink this putt. Maybe right there, and we need to have a good bit of feel here. No, that was smoke. That's not even going to stay in the circle. I'm pretty sure we're playing on 11 stimp, but we are about to take a bogey or a double here, which is a bit unfortunate. Another 6-footer. Yeah, guys, I am Jack's disappointment here. I don't know why we can't putt. We may have to do a little bit of alignment next time we're on the tee box. So this time we're going to use the G440K. It is certainly a more forgiving driver than the P90X or whatever it is we're playing is, PXG. Wasn't P90X some like pretty popular exercise shit back 10 or 15 years ago? I honestly don't even know why I said that. That was a really bad shot. Bounce left, bounce backwards. Okay, let's see where we're at. All right, we should be able to get out of here. Guys, I honestly don't know what the fuck that was. Like, that was such a bad shot. Just give me some time to get warmed up. 321. What do I dare to hit out of the rough? You guys wouldn't hit out of this lie. You would pick your ball up and move it. That was a 6-iron. Well struck ball, but you can see we've still got a mile to go to the pin. 180 with a crosswind. Let's hit a 4-iron and try to get her up there. You got 9 miles an hour of wind blowing though. Ball's gonna want to go to the left a little bit. Luckily we hit a fade right through the back of the fucking green. What elevation are we at? We are at sea level. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It even went 10 yards shorter than the launch monitor said it should have. So distance control for me, for some reason, is extremely difficult in the simulator. You are watching this occur in real time. But it doesn't matter what we score here because we shot a career round today at Rose Park Golf Course in Salt Lake City. Okay, we got that 3 degrees of horizontal launch angle. We need to do some alignment here. That is so strange. Anyway, guys, hole number 3 is a 312-yard par 4. If you're feeling froggy, you can try to drive this. You've got some wind going across your face. I am just feeling the, let's bomb and gouge today. Let's see if I can hit something off the heel of this club rather than the goddamn toe. Again, PXG driver. It was like 130 bucks on old eBay. Good shot. Little draw. Go for miles. Go for miles. Decent. Decent. It ain't gonna stay up. It's on a hill. Very decent. All right, you're all done. Good drive, 34. You guys, 34 is just a number that I'm shooting to here in the simulator. I have no feel because this is a 2-dimensional screen I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have got that ball closer in real life. So here we are putting for birdie. Putt's barely moving, we'll go there. 24, actually let's do something else while we're in here. So if I have my ball perfectly in the center of this hitting strip and I try to align my ball like I would on the golf course, it won't work. It's closer than it was yesterday, 27 feet. And that's not going to get in there, but that was close. So that was a little bit of horizontal launch angle. Let's start aligning our golf balls like we do outside. Number 4 is a 120-yard par 3. Wind is blowing from left to right pretty hard. And since your ball's going to go pretty high in the air on a shot like this, maybe aim over to the left a little bit to give yourself better odds of getting the ball somewhere where you would like it to be. I'm going to hit a 9-iron. Too much, too much, too much. So that was a pretty high club speed, I guess. That'd be like a warmed up club speed. .36 footer. Another par, so we're 2 over after 4. Number 5 is a 432-yard par 5. I think it is time to hit the G440K again. And we've also got a 10-mile-an-hour tailwind. You can see the folks that are at the top of the leaderboard are basically they basically birdied every hole. They're at 18 under. Obviously a absurd score. And that's gross, not net. Really? Guys, look at that toe hook into the woods. We're obviously not going to hit out of here. Let's take a drop. That was a nasty toe hook. Sim drop. You guys, I don't advise that you cycle between two different drivers in the simulator. But also, who gives a fuck? It's the simulator, right? Okay, so we're going to be hitting our third stroke, if I'm not mistaken, 228. We've got a healthy tailwind, so let's hit a 5 wood. And that is going to want to blow us a little bit over to the left. I mean the right. There we go, GSPro. Five wood. Beautiful shot. Simmer, simmer, simmer. These greens are pretty firm for that to not simmer. That went about apex to 113 feet in the air. And it came down, descent angle was 42 degrees, so a little bit of rollout there, a little bit of undesired rollout. We are on our fourth shot. We could potentially get out of here with a par if I'm able to get the ball close enough to the pin. But again, it's difficult to have any feel in the simulator. Yeah, it's just looking into a 2D screen makes it a little difficult. Putt's leaking from right to left, slightly downhill. We'll put it a few cups out. 18-foot putt. And we were not able to make that putt. So we're getting bogeys, 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 bogeys. It's not a long course. We should not be 3 over after this many holes, but a couple of duck hooks later and next thing you know, she's pregnant. Okay, the wind is blowing it right to left. I think we're just gonna try to go straight over these trees. Like I said, today we are bombing and gouging, and unfortunately, it's the PXG driver's turn to be hit. So we really need to hit this thing off the heel. That'll do. That's going to leave us a short little sand wedge shot in. 150 miles an hour of ball speed, 60 feet of apex. Or should I say an apex of 60 feet? 65 yards of the pin, it looks like we're on the back right of the green. 65 yards. What does that feel like? Does it feel like that? Yes, question mark? Good shot. So we have a birdie putt here. You're probably not going to make an 11-foot putt. Playing 12 feet, you're probably not going to. But a boy can hope. Just take your par and be okay with it. Greens are a little definitely faster than the greens I was playing today at Rose Park. Rose Park. Okay, let's look at a TikTok. It's high time we looked at a shitty TikTok. So we'll use this screen mirroring software here. And we'll go to our TikTok, captured TikToks. Caro blah 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 blah. Whatever your fucking name is. I'm already bored. I'll never argue with a man with less. It's actually, I'll never argue with a man with fewer tattoos than me. Like whatever you say, you fucking fairy. So apparently if you're a dude and you don't have a bunch of tattoos, you're a fairy. Pro tip, I don't have a single tattoo. So I resemble that statement, God damn it. I do have a brand, no tattoos. And I got the brand because me and my buddy had too fucking much beer to drink one night and shaped a clothes hanger and heated it up in a fire, a metal clothes hanger. Heated it up in a fire we were sitting around and did stupid fucking things. I branded him and he branded me. It's a very fond memory of mine, but I wouldn't say it was one of my fucking finest moments. You know what I'm saying? Okay, G440K, 310 yard hole, par 4, and notably, we've got some wind blowing from left to right. So if we do hit any kind of slice, the wind is certainly going to exacerbate it and make it worse. Just like that. Just like that, baby. Do I want to play out of this shit? I do not. You guys, I wouldn't play out of this lie in real life, and I'm not going to play out of it in here. There we go. Not quite a meatball of a drop, but still a drop nonetheless. Let's hit a pitching wedge. Wind is going to blow the ball to the right, so if we hit to the left, we might have a sporting chance here. But remember, we're on a par 4 and we took a drop. Okay, we hit a tree limb. There is no chance of us landing where we want to land. Let's hit a little pitching wedge bump and run. I really wish that had rolled out another couple of feet, but I can wish in one hand and shit in the other. And I think we're both firmly aware of which one will fill up quicker. Pro tip, your hand will fill up quicker. Okay, we saved the bogey. Remember, we took a sim drop on there, and sim drops aren't free. 138 with a bunch of wind in our face. Let's hit a 7-iron up here toward the back of the green. What was that? Toey with a closed face. I am glad we weren't hitting shots like this on the golf course today. Much rather than being here. That was a terrible shot. Okay, that released really hard. Guys, I don't see this. I don't see these releases in real life. It's fucking eating our lunch, though, I'll tell you that. 28-footer. There should have been some interaction with the hole there. So we're taking bogey after bogey after bogey on a 5,000-yard course, which you shouldn't be doing. Okay, it's the PXG's driver's time to shine here. It's your time to shine, PXG. Don't even fucking think about hitting this golf club off the toe. Don't even think about it. You're thinking about it right now? Stop thinking about it. That fucking thing is going to go so hard to the left, you won't know where your ball went. Terrible shot. You guys, I cannot I cannot hit this fucking golf club. Like I was using it today at the golf course and I had to bag it. It is half an inch, half to a quarter of an inch shorter than the G440K. Terrible shot. We got 153 into the pin with a headwind. Let's try to actually get a hold of a 7-iron this time. Nice and easy. Okay, we got a little putski for birdie here. Putski, Parsky and Hutch. 24 footer. Let's just get it down there toward the pin. So close, so close. Okay, that's good. That was a lot of bogeys there for a while. 245 yard par 4. Let me say that again for effect. 245 yard par 4. How many? This is a 5,600 yard course. I think I might have read that incorrectly at the beginning of the video. So we've got 9 miles an hour of wind that's blowing across our face and is going to want to carry our ball over yonder to the left. And there's a bunch of bunkers over there too. 245, we don't want to carry quite 245. Let's see what the 5 wood does. Ping G435 wood, standard loft. Ball has fallen off the tee. We always love when that happens. As long as it's not on when it happens on the real golf course and you're not able to step out of your swing, it's usually okay. Good ball, it's drawn over, and it's actually going to be short. We probably could have pulled out a 3 wood. I would like to know why we lost so much distance. 240 yards of carry in the launch monitor software, and we lost 20 yards of carry in the GSPro software, probably due to a slight headwind and elevation difference. Never going to get what I get at my elevation here in GSPro. 24 yards, is that what this says? That's going to be good. Okay, I'm not mad at it. That's a birdie. That drops us back down to 4 over par after 10. Guys, there's a story I wanted to tell you. So my wife's car's registration is due tomorrow. It goes overdue tomorrow. I go to a place, I'm not going to say the name of it because this story does not end well. I go to a place about 5 minutes down the road from me to get her car registration done, get the emissions done. And here in Utah for emissions, all they do is plug the OBD2 scanner. That's onboard diagnostic, version 2. They plug the son of a bitch in under the dash and it says, all is well on the western front. And that's your emissions test. It's different than an old school emissions test where they put the little sniffer in the tailpipe of your car and they see how much bad shit it emits at idle and then at like 2,500 RPM. It's different than that. New cars, it's just like plug it in. If it's not throwing any trouble codes, you win. So I sit there for an hour. And then the guy comes in. Guys, keep in mind that I'm a mechanic. I was a mechanic in the Air Force. The guy comes in and says, your cabin air filter's dirty. Your fucking intake filter is dirty. You need to flush the brake fluids. You need to do this, do that, do the other. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of that. How's that emissions test looking though? And then he says, He says, are you sure you don't want to get all that shit done? We can get it done for this many $1,000s. And I was like, no. How's the emissions test looking? He said, we found a small tear in one of the rubber intake tubes under the hood. And I said, show me. And he goes over, pops the hood, and shows me there's a little tear in this tube that has never been touched. You guys, my wife and I are the second owner of this Honda Civic behind the camera. It's been garaged its whole life. Nothing has hardly ever been done under the hood except for whatever I needed to do to change the oil. So for there to be a tear in this intake tube, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that wasn't there before, but it is now, and you won't give me a registration sticker for my license plate till I get it taken care of. So I drive immediately over to O'Reilly Auto, which is like a stone's throw away from this other fucking quick oil change place that I went to get the registration done. I buy the little intake tube. It's from Dorman. I drive back here, I install it. It takes me about 20 or 30 minutes to replace the torn one. And then I drive back over there and I sit around for another half an hour while they finish up whatever they needed to do to get the shit done. And I was just like, I didn't ask for the inspection they did. They said they did some fucking hocus pocus fucking 30-point inspection on the car. And I was like, dude, I wasn't here for an inspection. I was here for emissions. So they spent the majority of the time pulling out the cabin air filter and the air filter and trying to find all this shit that they could find to upsell me because they didn't know I was a mechanic. But when I go back over there the second time after I replaced the little rubber intake tube, there's a lady sitting in there, and the guy comes in with the dipstick from her car, the oil's dipstick from her car, and he shows it to her and he says, ma'am, your oil is really dark. And to me, I'm like, well, it's probably time to change the fucking oil. But he's like, would you like us to put some engine cleaner in there? Your oil shouldn't be this dark for that model of car. And I was like, it doesn't matter what model your car is, the oil gets dark. It gets darker and darker and darker until you change it. And he's like, this engine clean shit's only 15 bucks. Would you like us to add it? And she didn't know any better, right? Poor woman didn't know any better. So this dude sold her fucking 15 bucks worth of fucking automotive snake oil, and she told him to do it. And I was just like, you guys are probably doing exactly what your corporate headquarters is telling you to do. But I think it's fucking shady. Okay, so we overshot the green again, which isn't bad. We're close. We're about 17 yards away from the pin. It's funny what shots you'd be happy with outside, and then you get in here and you expect some other version of yourself when you're golfing in the simulator. I expect a different version of Shelby in the simulator than I get outside. And even on good shots, you're like, that's not a good shot. I wanted a better shot. I wanted a par or a birdie. You know? So I spent probably 2 hours of my day yesterday either sitting in that stupid fucking quick lube oil change place trying to get my car registered, or over here under the hood of the car trying to fix the stuff they said needed to be fixed. Let's unleash the G440K driver. I know we can't drive that far. There aren't a lot of sim tubers that can drive that far, but let's just hit the ball. That wasn't a bad shot, but I appear to be hitting off the toe of both of these drivers, which is fine. We're still only 4, 5, 6 strokes over par. So 36 yards to get over this little hill. Wind's blowing. You wouldn't expect the wind to have too much of an effect on a shot this short, but I'm not really sure how GSPro's physics work. Did anyone happen to catch that bounce out of the rough? I thought we were playing normal fairways and greens. You guys, the more I golf outside, the more I just think this software is janky as fuck. Speaking of this software being janky as fuck, I'm trying to get to be a beta tester for some new software coming out. And I think I would be a really good beta tester because I just pick shit apart. But it's for that, I think it's Pure Golf software that Run Pud Run and the other guy are developing. I heard Joe Legowski talking about it this morning. Okay, let's see what shitty TikTok we have here. They're more golf-centric now, though, which is not bad. I've bitched about this topic hundreds of times on the channel at this point. This guy says he's playing as a single and this group of 4 old dudes refuses to let me pass, waiting 10 minutes on every shot. If you guys are waiting 10 minutes on every shot, your round is going to be fucking eternal. And he says, what would you do here? If I was truly waiting 10 minutes on every shot and it wasn't just a few minutes, knowing that that's going to push your round to like 5+ hours, we'd have a little chat with him. We'd have a little chat with them. I say we'd have a little chat with them. That's what I'd do. Some people are not confrontational and they're just like, I'm here to golf, I'm here to enjoy the weather, this, that, and the other. To which I say, you're a fucking weirdo. The pace of play is, on most golf courses, is between 4 and 4.5 hours. Why are you okay being on the golf course for 5.5, 6 hours? Right? Different strokes for different folks. I'm nobody. Let's just blast this up the left side. If we hit a toe hook with the PXG, then we're going to be in a bad way over there. But the wind should help us to the right. So let's try to hit something off the actual sweet spot of this PXG. Nope. Toe hook. Toe hook into the woods. Did we get a good bounce? Yeah, we can probably get out of here. Guys, I don't know what's going on. Toe side of the sweet spot. So what we're going to have to do is creep up further onto the ball. Oh shit, we're right behind a tree. Okay guys, we got to take a simulated drop here. L simulated drop. We'll drop right into the middle of the fairway. Because I'm a fucking chode and I do things like that. Okay, 272, let's hit the 3-wood. We know we've got a buttload of wind up here. I didn't think we were behind that second tree. I thought we were going to be okay. So oddly enough, even though that ball's short, we hit a draw and we're wandering toward the only bunker that was up here near the green. Okay, 35 yards. This is a par 5, guys, but remember we just took a sim drop. Get in the hole. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Got a par out of there even though we sim dropped out of the woods, if you can believe that. Hole number 14, 325 yards. Guys, we're just going to do what we do best and blast a ball up toward the green. You got wind blowing 6 miles an hour across your face from right to left. It's the G440's time to shine. I think for round 2 we will add a 3rd driver into the mix. There's another Big Bertha, Callaway Big Bertha driver I really like over here. So let's try to stop hitting the hitting off the toe, excuse me. That is a high fade. That apexed at 140 feet. And I asked yesterday what this stuff was in the beginning of the round. It is indeed sand because we landed in some. All right, 245 yard drive. We've got about 90 yards left to go. I'm thinking pitching wedge. I'm also thinking McDonald's. Toey pitching wedge still went pretty far. Not a bad shot. Pretty toey pitching wedge there. All right, we're putting for birdie. Not an uncommon thing here on the channel, but we rarely sink them. We rarely sink them. 16.5 feet of feel is what I'm seeing here. And we are wandering toward the hole and literally rolled over the edge of the hole for par. And I'm not kidding, I'm not being facetious. We literally rolled over the edge of the hole. This software is dog shit. This software is dog shit. All right, 15th hole, 150 yard par 5 with a healthy amount of headwind. So let's aim up here. If we're at 7 iron raw distance into a headwind, we obviously need to take more club. I'm thinking 6 iron here. If you guys are saying, how is a 6 iron your 160 yard club? It's because I'm playing old ass fucking 1990s ping ISIs. Okay? They're not loft jacked like the clubs that are probably in your bag. So get off my fucking back, why don't you? That's going left. It probably landed about pin high, but it was on the other side of the fucking globe. So let's chip over there, 22 yards. We're not in too bad a shape. I would say we're a little short-sighted. So if we are not able to get this ball up in the air, we're gonna have not a good time. We're just going to Jimmy Trop a can of this, put it right in the center of our stance and try to get it up in the air a little bit. That was exactly the shot I was looking for, and you can see it's still several feet too far. Let's see if we can sink this. We'll go a cup or so outside, but I think we'll miss if we're too far out. 7 feet 8 inches. If I have any positive horizontal launch angle at all, this is not going to go in the cup. So we had a 1/2 degree and it still went in the cup. Look at me making a fucking liar out of myself on live TV. 18 under par. And I've never even seen that dude's name before. I'm assuming it's a dude. It's probably a fucking dude. 450 yard par 5. I had a 440 yard par 4 today. I think I bogeyed it. You guys will see when the video comes out. 9 miles an hour of wind. I think it's the PXG's turn. I could be wrong. I'm not keeping track. But let's try to hit it more off the heel. Let's quit talking about it and be about it though. Was that still off the toe? Okay, guys, 450 yard par 4, and we still have like 230 yards into the pin. Still toe side of the sweet spot. You guys, this PXG 0811X is a very unforgiving driver. Am I not having a good time? I'm having a pretty good time because I don't give a shit. So 237 yards to the pin. We got wind blowing across our face. I have selected the 3-wood. Let's see if we can start something left and get it to wander a little bit to the right. I mean, it's sure as fuck wandering to the right. That was a little piss missile. How'd that come off the club? So we hit the ball on the bottom line here. It still went quite a ways, don't get me wrong. 180 yards is 180 yards, especially on a par 5. Let's see if we can get up here. 70 yards with a crosswind. I got a sand wedge selected. That might be our ball. Nope, well short, well short. Good shot though. That'll set us up for a potential birdie, but probably a par. We'll aim a little to the left. This is a long putt, 23 feet. Give it all you got. 23 footer, slightly uphill. Not a bad putt. Too much gusto though. Too much gusto on the Laddie, the Precept Laddie Extreme. Good golf balls, guys. I'm really digging the Laddie Extremes from Precept, which is of course owned by Bridgestone. And I'm also digging the Amazon golf balls. They're both about $1 a ball. I think the Amazons are a little more expensive than $1 a ball, maybe $1.25 a ball. But you can't really go wrong with either of them. Guys, we're probably going to have a follow-up shot no matter what, and the driver's being real mean to us. The driver's being a mean girl. So let's just hit a 3-wood off the tee here. You're probably going to have 2 shots anyway, 309-yard par 4. Unless you're some kind of fucking driver savant. You're probably going to have a follow-up shot anyway, right? Even if we hit a 180-yard piss missile, like we just hit with the 3-wood on the last hole, we'll still be just fine. That's actually looking really good. It's drawn a little toward the flag, but there's no way we're going to get there with a 3-wood. A 3-fairway wood, a metal wood. That's pretty fucking metal. 246 carry, 275 total length in the software. And then of course, we're at a different altitude here with a slight bit of headwind, so we're not gonna get quite the carry or the rollout here in the software. 57 yards to the pin. It's over there in the middle on the left of the green. Good shot, it's just wandering to the right. I would hate to think that a ball that was in the air that long would be affected by the wind quite that much, but this software's, the physics engine it's probably acceptable for like a first-person shooter or something, but I don't think it's very good for golf. There's just too much going on. 16-foot putt. Valiant effort. Little bit long. You could probably make it. 18th hole, we're 5 over after 17. Amazing score. Not against these sim golfers, but I would be perfectly happy with that. Okay, let's try to hit up into this area. We've got a tailwind. I think it's the PXG driver's turn. Let's scooch up on this ball about 3/8 of an inch and see if we can't hit something off the heel side of the sweet spot. You guys typically want to hit off the high toe of the sweet spot, but if you do that on this club, you won't like what happens. It's happened to me plenty of times in this video. I hit a duck hook out on the golf course today, excuse me. And then that was Good shot. It was a good shot, but it looks like it was still toe side of the sweet spot, even if it was only by a millimeter or two. 100 yards into the pin on a par 4 ain't too bad. Let's hit we got to hit a wedge because we're out of the rough. There we go. My mic's still working? All right, there it is. That might be a good shot, maybe a little short. And we'll have a green in regulation, but we got to be closer than that. You guys, I do not mean to be a dick, but I have to, Shelby the cynic has to question scores like this. Let's look at it one more time. Shelby the cynic has to question scores like this. This is over a single round of golf. It's not over 2 or 3 or 4 rounds, and they're 18 under par. Now you can go in and look at their scorecards on SGT, so you can see almost everything about their round. Guys, that was a pretty clean back 9. Front 9 was a bit of a fucking disaster. Let's look at stats. Ball speed's good. It's average at 147. 10 greens in regulation, which is really good. 4 fairways is fine. 45-minute round. I just wish we hadn't got this double. Other than that, that's a pretty clean scorecard for a guy of my handicap. Now, the question is, what are we going to play now? What are we going to play now? So let's go ahead and set GSPro all courses, which is 2,700 now. It's over 2,700. You guys, there are new courses added every week. That is the only thing, the only redeeming factor about this software, really. So we've got never played selected, and we've got all. I don't know what other filters you can, I don't know what other filters you could apply so that you never got, a par 3, but we'll see what it selects for us. Random. Wade Hampton. Green tees. We'll have a few foot of, gimme, 5-foot gimmies. Let's at least use 2-foot gimmies. Calm wind, stimp, we always set to around 11 if we can. We turn off putting assist and the brake line indicator. Looks like the course is at about 3,500 feet above sea level. We'll auto concede at log 10. God for fucking bid that we get anything near that. Green tees are 6,263 yards. Greens are normal. Fairways are normal. Tenths, we should be good to go. Oh, it's by Tech Bud too, so we know it's going to be good. I got to drink more water. My sorry ass dehydrates so fast. Ooh, very pretty, very pretty. Looks like you guys got a little bit of feedback here, it's not too much. Let's move it down a smidge. Okay, I just heard a bird flying away noise. There we go. And then I would like to give myself some too. 2 for me, 1 for you. 2 for me, 1 for you. Wade Hampton. You guys, it looks like we're in the middle of a forest. 506 yard par 5. We've got a bit of altitude. We've got some very poor bird animations going on over here. So we've got some altitude and we're hitting down about 20 yards. So I say we just let it fly. And let's add another driver to the mix here. Where is my favorite driver here? It's obviously not my favorite or I'd put it in play. But let's use the Callaway Warbird 12 degree. So this is lofted quite a bit higher. There's no adjustment on these old clubs. Callaway Warbird 12 degree, great big Bertha, Ruger titanium. You guys have seen me use this on the channel before. There's the face. You guys can see this used to be considered a very big driver. You can see there's really no frills. Stiff tip, Pro Force 65 gram gold low torque, stiff flex shaft. I have never seen another shaft like this that was like purple and orange, purple and gold. So let's tee off with this. We're not really concerned about score here in the simulator. We are just here. I'm just here to have a good time. I occasionally get bent out of shape about my score, but who doesn't? Okay, let's use the old Big Bertha Warbird. Ooh, this has definitely got a different, this is definitely addresses the ball differently. And you can see we got 110 feet of apex. So that's going to be a really good shot. We're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling. We still got 220 yards into the pin, which makes me think this is perhaps a par 5. It is 500 yard par 5. And that old nasty ass club just went 285. Granted, we were downhill. 221 into the pin at altitude. I'm thinking I don't want to go over the back of the green and we got a front pin. So let's hit the 7 wood, G430 7 wood. Bit of a fade there. Let's see where we, oh, we're still over the grain. You guys, that is highly unfortunate. That is highly unfortunate. That ball went a fucking mile. That was my 7 wood. Did I accidentally hit the 5 wood? Nope, that was the 7 wood. Normal greens, normal fairways. So we are gonna probably have a bit of trouble getting this ball to stop. What we want to do is trickle it down to the hole. Followed by a joke about your old high school girlfriend. Trickle it down to that hole. And you know what? That was not bad at all. That was not bad at all. We're putting for birdie, so we know we're going to at least get a par unless we really shit the bed here. We're getting a par unless we fucking empty our guts all over the bed. At which point in time, you better fucking hope you had a mattress pad, because you're going to need to wash the sheets. 6 footer, 6, 7 footer playing 6 feet. Yes, great first hole. Bird E. Let's check out a TikTok. What do we got for TikToks? I should just buy this program. No, because it makes you pay every month or something. All right, here's one of those stupid 5 worst horror movies, but it's related to golf. Let's get it over on the main screen so everybody can see and share and be enthralled by it. Oh, God. 5 worst horror movies. This person, I believe, is a woman. She says, men my age golfing. Why is that a horror movie? Golf is predominantly males, all right? Yes, we have the LPGA. Yes, we have this. Yes, we have that. I don't know why she cares about men her age golfing. I don't know how old she is. She should probably just shut her fucking mouth, though. Old guys on the course. Old guys on the course. You guys, she doesn't like old guys on a golf course. How many old dudes do you know that play golf? This woman is clearly fucked in the head. Paired up with old ladies her age, so she's actually attacking her own kind now. Cold day clothing, so I'm covered up. She doesn't want to wear cold day clothing. She wants to have her fucking goodies out for the world to see. And no cart guys, right? Because we have cart girls, but we don't have cart guys. The reason we have cart girls is because that is golf is a male-dominated sport, and we don't want to see fucking cart guys. We want a cart girl to come up and sell us a fucking $11 beer, not a cart guy. So just like you think that the Pilates studio is only for women and not for men, I would say that the golf course is for everybody, but it's predominantly dudes, okay? Young dudes, old dudes, middle-aged dudes, it's predominantly dudes. So for this to be your 5 worst horror movies, you're clearly I can't say the word. You're clearly mentally handicapped, and you should probably go fuck yourself. There you go. I'm glad that we didn't show this person's name. And then this next one is really weird, unless I'm missing something. All right, Wade Hampton, hole number 2. We're only on hole number 2, if you can fucking believe that. 385-yard par 4, not bad. We just hit the Callaway Great Big Bertha driver, so let's hit the PXG this time. We were able to hit almost right on the center of the face of that Callaway, but for some reason I can't hit on the center of the face of either of these two modern drivers. Let's see if we can change that here. I would really love to hit off the heel of this PXG though, like I really would. I did, and it still went left. Go. Bounce a fucking mile. I don't even care. I'm so fucking tired of this. So I hit off the heel with a slightly closed club face, and we still went to the left instead of hitting a little Healy fade. You guys, this launch monitor probably does thousands of calculations per fucking frame that it's seeing, so I trust what it's saying for the most part. But usually you get a Healy fade. Anyway, 196.8 yard carry, 363.7 yard total distance. We hit the cart path no fewer than 2 times. Let's just get up on the green. Let's not botch this genuine opportunity here. Let's just get on the green. Let's guillote gay. 68. We're a little bit short-sighted. I meant 28. If we hit at 68, we're going to be in a fucking world of hurt. I'd say that is not bad. So we've got 2 strokes to get over there for a par. It's barely moving. Let's try like 3/4 of a cup to the right, 17 feet of feel. You guys know the drill. And we were able to sink that motherfucker. If you're just joining the live stream and you don't like cussing or adult topics or me saying that people are dumb fucking idiots, you may want to go find something else to watch. Happy Sunday. I gotta hydrate. Okay, we're 2 under. We're 2 under, which doesn't matter because it's a simulator. 220, 710, we're at altitude. So I want to be over here. I want nothing to do with this water. And I need to hit about 190. I am going to elect to hit a 4 iron. Ping ISI 4 iron. There we go. We're going to be hitting this son of a bitch right here. You guys, I'm in the simulator because I had a career round today outside, not in this fucking thing. And I had to find something to do because it's Sunday, and I wanted to have some celebratory booze, but I knew I shouldn't because it's a school night. I got to work tomorrow. Oh shit, we aimed to the right and it faded. Give me a little bounce left. Yeah, there you go, down into the fern gully there. All right, I can't see my goddamn ball, so we're gonna have to do this by feel. Sand wedge, 20 yards down a couple of feet, 21 yards down a couple of feet. Ball's gonna wanna go right, but it's gonna roll to the left once it hits the green. I can see that. Let's just get a ball up in the air, probably try to hit it about 15 yards or something. Wouldn't say that was 15 yards. That was more like 10 yards. But here we go. Let's get our bogey. 12 feet, 13, 14 feet. Slightly uphill. Guys, I ordered a Temu Lab DF3i. Oh, I did it to myself. I chose 2-foot gimmies. You can't do shit to yourself and then get mad that you did shit to yourself, right? All right, there's your bogey. We kind of knew we had a bogey after that second shot when I was not near the pin. That's how real golf works too. Okay, I think it's G440K time. You can see we've got a 520 yard par 5. We could reasonably expect to go about this far, maybe further. And we got a tailwind, so maybe we bring it back toward the right and see if we can't get some kind of a members bounce too, but I am not that accurate in the simulator with my driver. Outside, I'm okay with it. In here is never know what you're getting. That's gonna be up on that side hill. Hit a rock or something. Oh, it hit a rock. Guys, as much as I hate to say it, you're not gonna find your ball in that rough. So let's take us a little drop like adults. Let's move over. Let's not give ourselves a, nah, let's just do, I don't care. There we go, we moved over, it's still rough. Well, no, it's calling it fairway. You guys, that was not a bad shot with the G440. You can see that it was a heel strike, and the ball did a leaky fade like it's supposed to. For some reason, a heel strike with the PXG does something completely different. Yeah, we need a lot more club than this. 250 out of the rough with a tailwind. Let's hit the 5 wood. The best we can anyway. Ball's gonna wanna go over to the left. Let's do that. You'll see why in a second. GSPro's physics will quickly show themselves. That's gonna be a really good shot. I'm not even mad at that shit. It might even roll up on the green. It might even roll into the fucking hole. You guys, that was an amazing shot. Other than the sim drop we took, I got no complaints. We're pretty close to the pin. I might even be able to make this with a sim drop. We took a damn sim drop and we're still putting for birdie. Can you imagine the damage we could have done if we would have fucking hit the fairway with driver? Okay, we are 2 under once again. Once again. 359, I think it's time to hit the Callaway Great Big Bertha driver. 260. I'd rather be up than down. I'd rather be all around. Callaway Great Big Bertha, Warbird. We're going to war, boys and girls. Let's see if I can hit it worth a shit again. I'm using the same height of tee that I'm using for the other 2 drivers. It was a toe job. Toe jobs are not as good as blow jobs. Oh shit, it's calling it out of bounds. That is extremely unfortunate. So let's try it again. Let's aim way over here. That is gonna fuck our score so bad. Okay. Come on, T. But it's okay. It's a simulator. Nobody gives a shit what your score is in a simulator. We just did the same fucking thing. Will it stay up? Woo! We just hit another fucking over-the-top toe ball, dude. That was barely on the club. Okay, guys, we're on our 4th shot, and we're still miles from the pin. Miles, absolutely miles from the pin. Let's hit a 3-iron punch. I can't see where this is going to go. Neither can you. Oh, shit. That's not my worst 3-iron punch ever. That actually executed really well. We're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling. I will take that every day of the week. We've got a kind of a touchy little son of a bitch here. It looks like there's almost a false front, so if we don't get up high enough, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. And I think that may have been exactly what we did. Yep, it wasn't enough, guys. We're playing fucking stump the dummy here. Let's roll back down, probably damn near to where we were. Nope, it's further than where we were. Guys, I don't see that physic a lot on the golf course outside, except for extremely uphill lies. So we'll just do what we need to do to be above the pin, and we're still not on the green. You guys, this hole is going to really fuck our scorecard. And if that goes far enough, it's going to roll back into the fairway. Okay, it stopped. Do we got a ball here? Do we got a laddie? Okay, you guys, this hole is, look what we're already on. We're on 8. If you concede at the golf course, it's usually double par. In the simulator, it'll give you a 10, which we are slowly getting to. So this one hole is really going to have done us in. I would like to see, so this is the 3rd hardest hole on the course. You can see we birdied the #1 handicap hole. But you guys, that's golf for you. We're now 3 over. We have pissed away. Let's see how many birdies we've pissed away in the video game here. 3 birdies. Pissed away, gone forever. They're no longer with us. 141 playing 130 into a bit of a headwind, and I don't want to be short. 130 into a bit of a headwind, and I don't want to be short. Let's go 8-iron. I don't know why it still says we're in fast forward. That's really weird. Dude, this software is so janky. She's janky. Whee! Thump. Okay, let's get over there and let's get a par. Let's par out of here. Ooh, look at this screen. We're just going to aim right here. It's downhill. We only need to hit about 12 feet, and it's going to break to the right like a motherfucker. Oh, stay in the circle. Yes. Okay. So there was a 10 or whatever followed by a par. 195. You guys, this is hole number 7. It's a 315-yard par 4. With the number of tow hooks we've been hitting with driver, ooh, this one's making my spidey senses tingle. Because even if you hit off the toe or the heel, the PXG goes to the left. Except for that time. It's saying we came in a little over the top, but even when you hit the sweet spot, it is 55 feet of apex. Launch angle was 7 degrees. So the launch angle was actually lower than the angle, the loft we've got it set to, if you can believe that. Okay guys, 101 yards. We're going through some trees out of the rough. Let's hit a pitching wedge, full well knowing that we are probably going to hit some trees. In fact, that's a really dumb shot. Let's hit something lower lofted. Let's try another three, but let's aim over here in case I screw it up. I don't want to go in the water. 3-iron punch. Let's put this behind our stance here. Go, go, go. Go. That thing's going to keep rolling and rolling. Will it stop? Sweet. Sweet. So we're putting for birdie. We should be able to get out of here with a par, but these greens have been beating our asses for 7 holes now. Just beating the shit out of us. 17 feet. All right. Par. We'll take pars. I would love to get rid of some of these strokes, but when your driver's not firing on all cylinders, you cannot reasonably expect to be in scoring position. The guys you see getting these really low scores, it is because they're hitting a 320-yard drive off the tee, and then they're incredibly accurate with their approach shot. That is what's happening. If you go watch any of them, you'll see that's exactly what they're doing. They're almost robotic accuracy. Okay, that is 2 in a row. We are putting a significant amount of spin on that ball. Let's try strengthening up the grip just a smidge from here on out. We're hitting out a pine straw going up. Let's hit a 9-iron and see where we're at when the dust settles. Should be on the green unless it's a miss strike. It's a miss strike, so we'll be close to the green, just not on it. And you can see that none of these greens are very accepting. They're all up on little ridges, and they don't really want you to be on them. So not only do they not want you to be on them, once you are on them, they want putting to be a chore. Maybe we won't even need to putt. Woo! That'd have been nice if that went in. I'll tell you what. All right, what do we got here? Is it time for a TikTok? I know it's time for some water. We should be halfway through this one because we're on 9. What do we got for TikTok? Oh, this one. So this one's kind of weird. You guys can tell me if I'm fucking losing my mind, but I don't think I am. So this is another one of those horror stories ones. Guys, all these TikTokers just cut and paste each other's shit. They don't have minds of their own. They are of low intelligence, and all they do is cut and paste shit. Here's what I find weird. So you see how this girl's got her fist up and she's kind of covering her mouth with it? Look at her watch. That's as far as nope, I can zoom in more. Is that not the same exact pose that she's striking here? Does anyone else think that that's super fucking weird? Like, did she set this to be her screensaver on her watch? I mean, I realize it's rotated 90 degrees, but that's fucking weird. Okay, now that we're done trying to figure out how weird that is, old girl here is wearing a fucking gallon of makeup. She's got an obligatory nose piercing, blah, 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 blah. She says her top 5 horror movies. So this one's not stories, it's movies. Some of them stories, some of it's movies. Just bear with them. They're basically mentally handicapped people copying each other's content. Non-athletic kids. Her kids being trash at sports. So 1 and 2 are pretty much the same thing. Kids hating sports. Okay, well if you're that fucking bent out of shape about your kids being in athletics, they're probably going to hate sports. That's why I don't like football, is because my parents forced me to play football all the way up through high school. And then I willingly played football after that and didn't like it very much then either. Anyway, we squirreled there. Non-athletic kids, so number 4 and number 1 are the same. You can tell this gal's got about 2 brain cells to rub together. And then she says having non-athletic kids again. So she says non-athletic kids 4 times out of 5, because 2's basically being trash at sports means you're non-athletic. So there you go, some fucking high quality content. I think we're all dumber now. And Susie Q, for some reason, her Apple Watch or whatever that fucking thing is down there says it's mirrored, obviously, but for some reason her face is also on her watch. And it's the same pose she's striking. I don't get it. If you asked me to do that, I would not, I quite literally would not know how to do that. So that one was a little weird. And this lady is super scared that her kids will not be good at sports or will not like sports. And since she's pounding it down their throats, they're guaranteed to not like sports. Where did I say we were hitting the ball? Down this direction? You guys, I don't know where the ball's going to go because we're using 3 different drivers. I think it's time to hit the Callaway Big Bertha again. I'll show it to you almost every time because it's an old school sumbitch, boy. Old school. We should probably be using a shorter tee, but we're not because I'm lazy. So let's just hit the ball to the best of our ability. It started left, but it's wandering back to the right. Oh. Yeah, you ain't finding your ball here. And if you did find it, you wouldn't hit it. Not from there. You probably couldn't even swing your club. At any rate, let's take us a little sim drop. We don't want to have the boys waiting too long, so we'll drop right on the edge of the fairway here. There we go. There we go. Took us a 1-stroke penalty in the process, but everybody is going to need to get the motherfuck over it. We got 3 miles an hour of tailwind and we need to hit about 112 yards. I don't really want anything to do with the water, so I'm going to hit a 9-iron, which is further than I need to hit, but maybe we can choke down just a smidge here. That might be a good ball. Nope, it is literally a club further than the pin. If you guys aren't tracking, your club should be the loft should be separated by about 10, 12, 15 yards, depending on what you are trying to accomplish with your golf game. And you can see this thing is downhill and it's leaking really hard from right to left. We only need to hit this thing like 20-something feet. I just feel like we need to aim at about that fucking bridge there to even not blow this past the hole on the left. 35, 28. And you will see that motherfucker is leaking. It almost went in the hole. It got to a point where it no longer had any forward velocity. It was literally leaking toward the hole. Okay, we can't lose that golf ball. That's our career round golf ball. We'll put that up here. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Number 10 is a 535 yard par 5. We are 4 over. We're 4 over. So we're playing about 0.5 bogey golf. Oh boy, you're not cutting across that. Well, I'm not. Especially with these low lofted drivers. So the best we could reasonably expect to achieve is probably right here anyway, which is just fine. I can't remember if it's PXG or 440K's turn, but here's your PXG 0811X as in X-ray, set to 7.5 degrees aloft. 7.5 degrees aloft looks really funny for some reason in the simulator. But when you see the video that I cut, should be cutting a video soon, you'll see that 7.5 degrees is still quite high. Depending on how far that goes and how it bounces, which is just perfect, we're going to be chilling right in the fairway. Probably about 265-ish yards to the pin. To the fucking pinski. Okay, there we go, 266. There's some danger up there, but I think we can fly it at this altitude. Unless I hit, like have a major miss hit with the 3-wood here. That's headed toward the water. Hopefully we can carry it. Don't go in there. Oh my fucking God, dude. The one time we needed the ball to stop in the bunker, it couldn't be bothered. All right, guys, we're taking a penalty stroke here. Let's check our options, though. So we can move back into the fairway. We're going to do that every time. And then we're going to look at the green because I see a false front. Yep, we got to get up. You guys, we got to get up to get down, okay? You've all heard the song. You've got to get up in order to get down. So we want to be over here. We don't want nothing to do with that false front. That is bad news. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that was a good shot, but so the slope on this green is so bad that we have rolled to within less than 10 feet of the pin. You won't hear me complain. I've seen it happen on a real golf course, so I'm not going to say that it is total bullshit. This is playing about 5 feet downhill. Just easy, don't even touch the ball. And it still won't go in the hole. Now if that keeps going, guys, okay, it didn't. I was going to say we were going to add a couple of strokes to our score. We need to get up out of here. Okay, there we go. Bogey. So we hit a ball in the water. The 3-wood went real far, but it went a little too far to the right at the same time. Hole number 11 is playing about 114 yards. I would say the wind is negligible. So let's hit pitching wedge. Let's do that. Let's hit a pitching wedge. Okay, that's gonna go a little bit to the right. That was a toey shitball shot. Go, bounce, bounce, bounce. You guys, that would have been a really good shot, but you can see the club face came in at a, the launch monitor said something. I don't know what it said. 12. So if we don't go far enough, we'll stop in the rough. You guys have seen me do that 100 times. Oh, can you say self-fulfilling prophecy? Self-fulfilling prophecy. It's wanting me to chip again. I'm not going to chip again. Putter. And because there is approximately 0.000005 fucking millimeters of fairway that we're putting through, the ball's going to get slowed down like it's going through fucking I-15 traffic at rush hour. 16. Are we even going to be in the circle? It is crazy how much the fringe slows down your ball, like an unrealistic amount. Because guess who putts off the fringe a lot? This dude. Unnecessary bogey. 6 over. We're 6 over. You guys, I wouldn't say this course is easy. In fact, it's... I don't know if we looked it up. If it's not a fictional course, it'd probably be in the maybe the 120s for slope. I don't know what the rating would be. I don't really pay attention to rating because I'm not good enough to pay attention to rating. Oh, that fucker was nailed, dude. Get up. Go. Uh-oh. You guys would not be able to hit this shot in real life, but I've already given myself a couple of strokes for lost golf balls. You couldn't even start your backswing to get out of here. But because of the extreme realism of GSPro, we'll be able to get out of here just fine. And we also have quite a bit of grain to play with. So this ball's probably going to pop up pretty high. There you go. You literally just hit your ball that was sitting up against a large rock. It should declare your ball unplayable. If you are up against an object like that, it should declare your ball unplayable. Because I don't know a single motherfucker on the planet that would be able to even start their backswing to make that shot. You know what I'm saying? You tracking? We copacetic? Oh! Okay. Not bad. Not good, but not bad. I can see why some people are getting pretty low scores on some of these holes. 380-yard par 4. Hole 13. Let's look at another TikTok. I'm sure it'll be riveting. We'll all be smarter because of it. Oh, the grammar on this one is so bad. Men should be shamed for pissing in public rather than women breastfeeding. Say what? What she's trying to say, but she clearly didn't graduate 6th grade. That's right, we graduate 6th grade now. Men should be shamed for pissing in public. You guys, pro tip, pissing in public's actually illegal in a lot of places, rather than women breastfeeding. So she's saying men should be shamed for pissing in public rather than women being shamed for breastfeeding in public. It was just terrible fucking grammar, terrible sentence structure. So she's talking about something that's been talked about in 9,000 other TikToks by 9,000 other TikTokers and YouTube short people and Instagram people. You guys, nobody's shaming anybody for breastfeeding in public. We do ask questions about why you breastfeed in public. The main question being, why do you do that? Because there are the women's bathroom, there are special mother's rooms that are just for breastfeeding and pumping. Like, you don't need to breastfeed in public. The same as men don't need to piss in public, okay? Neither of them needs to happen, but men pissing in public is actually illegal. So, I don't know who Susie Q is, but she's fucking dumb and we're all dumber because of her. So thank you, Susie Q. Thank you for talking about a topic that has never been covered before in any forum. And it was at the forefront of all of our minds, and we really wanted to know what your fucking opinion about it was. Hello. Hello, Foof. Namaste. How are you doing, brother? What was I doing? Was I hitting a golf ball? Okay, I can't hit 350. I might be able to go 275 up here. We definitely don't want to be low. 380-yard par 4, hole 13. Foof says it's all about intent. If I've had 1,100 beers on the golf course and there are no, say there aren't any outhouses or anything on the golf course, if I disappear into the forest so I can drain the main vein, I don't see what the problem with that is. All right, guys, Callaway Big Bertha, titanium, Ruger titanium, 12 degrees aloft. That's what we're hitting off the tee. I think next off the tee is the PXG, and then that would be followed by the G440K. K is for, I don't know what it means. Oh, okay, skyball, guys. Too high off the tee. But like I said, I'm not going to change my tee to hit this driver. We're just going to try to adjust for the height by putting it further forward in our stance. So 207 to the pin, playing about 200. This is a reachable pin. Let's hit the 3-iron. We're going to want to go a little bit to the left. There we go. There we go. Oh, God, please fade. Sit pretty. Sit pretty. Okay, so we're going to be up against a rock again. Your shot would be unplayable, but GSPro is still saying it's playable, even though you couldn't even start your backswing. So let's go ahead and aim, clear up here. That was a little bit strong. You can see that we're going to be like 15 feet from the pin here. Foof, how are you doing? He says he's doing well. Brother, I had a career round at the golf course today. Rose Park, Salt Lake City, Utah. A career round. I've got another golf ball over here. I need to put a score and a location and a date on. So I'm on fucking cloud 9, buddy. I'm actually in the simulator right now to prevent myself from having too many celebratory adult beverages. That's why I'm in here. Because it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. There's 100 other things I could be doing, but my brain immediately said, you want to drink whiskey. You shot really well at the golf course. You want to drink whiskey. So Foof, I've been trying your putting method here in the simulator, but my round was going so well that I didn't want to start trying something new out on the golf course. Hopefully you can understand that and you're okay with it. But the next time I'm out having just a normal random round, I will try the no-look method. But in here I do it every so often. I'll do it right now. And it is effective. I was just playing so well that I couldn't justify doing it out there. So hopefully you understand and you're cool with it and you don't throw a brick through my window. Okay guys, we're bleeding here. I can't really hit driver for some reason. My drives were going like fucking 290, 300, 310 today at the golf course. But for some reason, the same swing in here just is not enough. I don't know. I'm also cycling between 3 different drivers because I love punishment. So here's the PXG again, 7.5 degrees aloft. See it right there above the chat box. Foof, I'll actually put it into play the next time I'm doing that, regardless of whether I'm keeping score or not. I just couldn't do it today. The round was going too well. I couldn't risk it. So that was a good shot, but it sounded really weird. It should stop before the bunker. Decent shot. Foof says never try something new in the middle of a historic round. So I wouldn't say it was historic for everybody, but I did take video of the last 9 holes. You're going to have to trust what I got on the first 9 holes, and then the round kind of continued in the same direction. And now I have a new golf ball for my fucking trophy area over here. Is it the lowest round that anybody in the history of golf has ever shot? No, absolutely not. But it was a career round for your boy here. So I'm hitting sand wedge 80 yards. Should be good. Right on the money. Money shot right in the fucking mouth. There is a moth in here. I must have left the garage door open too long when I was mowing yesterday. Good sir. I do like this big moss hitting strip though. It's growing on me. Oh my God. What was that, dude? God damn it. I should know not to keep... I don't even need to move the ball out of the cup because of my fucking HLA, dude. God damn it. This is fucking absurd. Just go in the hole. God damn it, dude. So a birdie turned into a fucking bogey. Foof says he's trying out lead tape on his putter. So that lead tape's very interesting, dude. They sell strips of it at the golf place. It's actually really interesting. Lead's obviously very, very dense. Foof says he thinks it eliminates a lot of the yips when you're starting over the ball and your arms want to wiggle. And he said you used 1 ball for the entire round. Yeah, dude, guess what ball it was? It was a Laddie Extreme. It was this ball right here. The balls you told me to get, I had some overnighted in. So I used this Laddie Extreme the whole round. I rotated it in with a noodle, but this ball and that noodle both came home. The noodle's over here in my bag. But I did play the whole round with that Laddie Extreme. They are a bit clicky, but it doesn't matter at my handicap. What were we doing? We're 8 over, guys. We just blew an easy birdie. I think it's time to hit the Big Bertha again. Let's check out a TikTok. No, dude, it's actually filthy. I gotta clean it off. I got some glass cleaner here. We can clean it off in real time. I'll do it in front of this camera down here. This is the rag I use on the golf course. Here we go. We can make this really big for a second too. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's clean it off. Let's clean off the Laddie. Got some glass cleaner here. Let's get this Laddie good and clean because it's going to be a trophy ball now. Squeaky clean, bitch. My green mark didn't quite come off of it, but I think if I tried hard enough it would. There you go. The Laddie X. So fun fact, and I'm sure you already knew this, it used to be the Lady. It was the Precept Lady. And men wanted to use the balls because they were so inexpensive and so effective. So they renamed it to the Laddie. I don't know if you knew that, dude. But now you do. And I beat the fucking piss out of that ball too. And it's not showing any wear on the jacket or anything. Highly recommend these unless you're some kind of golf ball snob. And the Amazon golf balls too, they're a little softer, but they're pretty awesome. Oh, another sky ball. Did we get under it? Yep. You guys, I'm not teed low enough to be hitting this old school 90s driver. And it's fucking with our game, but it's the simulator and nobody gives a shit, so it doesn't matter. Let's hit a 5 wood. Foof says he left his birdie balls dirty because he didn't want to wash off the struggle. Sounds like the first time my wife and I did things we shouldn't be doing as teenagers, and I didn't want to wash this hand ever again, if you catch my drift. I didn't want to wash off the struggle of how long it took to get in her pants. I should not be saying that out loud. Oh, god damn it. Dude, my game is going to hell. So that's two shots. We just hit a fucking land shark. It doesn't matter, guys. We're having a good time. So sand wedge up. We're hitting about 60-something yards. We've got plenty of green to play with. We don't need to get funky here. We got plenty of green to play with. Let's hit about right here. My wife thought I was a huge pervert. To be fair, I was. M. Was M is R. Okay, guys, that's a really good shot, especially considering the 2 dog shit shots that preceded it. Let's just aim to the top of the circle. This thing's leaking pretty good. Maybe not that far. It's uphill. There we go. 12-footer, 12.5-footer. Oh! Okay, that was a bad hole, guys. Good approach shot, but the first two shots were just terrible. Nike women's are great too. Are they a buck a ball though? Dude, I'm almost to the point where I play the same golf with a Pro V1 that I do with this fucking 90 cent a ball. Like, it doesn't matter. It's crazy, dude. It's like I don't even give a shit anymore. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water. My voice gets hoarse during these live streams, and we're gonna look at another TikTok. What's this gal saying? So she's sitting in her car in this little yellow dress. Maybe she's just got done with a wedding reception or something. What I want to know is what this is. What is this? Very colorful. It looks like those watermelon Sour Patch Kids. Anyway, she seems like a lovely young girl. She doesn't have any obligatory nose piercings. She doesn't have a gallon of makeup caked on her face. Let's see how good or bad this comment is while we look at her cleavage. More and more young women are choosing sterilization. Are they? More and more young women are choosing sterilization now that our basic human rights are devolving, and she loves it in all caps. It's so empowering to witness. Are more young women choosing sterilization? Is that even true? Guys, I gotta look this one up. Bear with me here. You guys can stare at her cleavage for another little bit. Okay. Sorry, party's over. Are more young women choosing sterilization? No. Oh shit, so this one appears to be true, guys. Yes, a significant increase in young women choosing permanent sterilization has been observed. Observed by who? Driven by shifting reproductive rights and economic concerns, research shows that tubal sterilization procedures like tubal litigations among 18 to 30-year-olds doubled following the 2022 Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. And you guys, the source is the New York Times. So this girl is actually correct. What she's saying is actually correct. So you guys can enjoy what's there of her cleavage for another couple of seconds, but we've actually got a TikToker that said something which is factually correct, and you guys, that doesn't happen very often. That does not happen very often here on the channel. Foof said, so there's a women's soft, long, super far crush extreme mojo. I've seen the mojo. I'll have to check them out, but they need to be cheap. Foof says, I know mojos have a cult-like following, but I personally wasn't a big fan of how they felt. Dude, I'm not good enough to know how a ball's supposed to feel. It's either hit golf ball or miss golf ball. I don't know what else to say. And Foof says IUD. That's an interuterine device, I think, which is a form of birth control for females. And I don't say females in a shitty way. I say it because I was in the military. You were a male or a female. I mean no disrespect, okay? But no, this guy, or that gal was talking about actual like tubal sterilization, which I think means that the eggs never drop. The eggs never drop, and so the jizz can never cover the egg. All right, guys, there is some chance that we're going to hit a tree branch, and there's some chance that we're going to hit the water here on 16. I wouldn't say we're having a career round, but 9 over outside would be absolutely amazing. For some reason in the simulator, it's just not goddamn good enough, and I don't know what it is. So that little Healy fade is actually going to work out really well. We even hit the back of a hill on the fairway, and we're rolling toward another one, which means we're going to have a slightly uphill lie. But that ball went a mile, guys. 287 yards in the simulator is awesome. I would say it's not that awesome for me outside, but I got to take what I can get. Also, did I mention this is a 415-yard par 4? So we've got a $127 into the pin with a tailwind off the fairway, which is immediately screaming 9-iron. It's screaming 9-iron. 9-iron. So there you go, 9-iron. It's actually the German club. Get it? The 9-iron. Foof says women just want to have zero consequences for their poor decisions. Are you willing to put what poor decisions you're speaking about in a YouTube chat? And then he says, so tie the tubes and get a bunch of cats. If by poor decisions you mean, right? Because a married woman can also choose. A married woman can choose to have no children. That is her prerogative. Hopefully her partner agrees with it. Because when you got one part of the married couple wants children and the other doesn't, it often turns sour. I think what Foof is talking about is, I'm not even going to pretend to think about what Foof's talking about, but I'm pretty sure you and I are on the same, we're on the same page. I'm pretty sure. Let's hit the German club here. A bit toey. I just beat the shit out of that camera with my club. It's going to still be a good shot. We're going to be, I don't know, 20 feet from the pin. I just hit my fucking DJI with my club like a dumbass. It's got a ruggedized case on it, but you still don't want to be hitting it with a fucking golf club. So guys, we didn't quite get a hold of that golf ball, but it was still a good shot. We got a putt that's leaking from right to left. It's playing about 31 feet. Oh, come on. Foof says it's bizarre that people would want to permanently do that at such a young age. I don't know, dude. If they're using it so they don't have to practice safe sex, that technically is still their prerogative, right? Which I know is not going to go over well with really the red or the blue party. 179 here on 17. Playing 172 into a headwind. I am immediately thinking 5-iron here. Oh, fade. Fade! Don't go there. Oh shit. Oh, that ball had a quite an adventure there, guys. We should be able to get out of this bunker, but as you know in GSPro, the ball releases super hard out of bunkers for some reason. Like I could get this motherfucker to pop straight up in the air and it'll still release at a really weird angle. So ball's gonna want to go to the right, which is fine. Down. You guys, this is going to be tough, especially with a 54-degree wedge. All that talk I was doing about it releasing, and it didn't fucking release. Ah, Jesus, our Lord and Savior. God damn it. It doesn't matter. It's a fucking simulator. It's like winning at sim golf is like winning the Special Olympics. Like, good job, but Oh, please hit the pin. Why is everything... Ugh. All right, I can't get mad. You can't get mad at something you don't care about. Let's say that we are indifferent. We don't love the simulator. We don't hate the simulator. We are simply indifferent to the simulator, okay? 16-foot putt here, give or take, 16 and a half. Let's just fucking hit the ball. I'm sick of this hole. I'm over it. There we go. If we'd have hit that with a little more gusto, we wouldn't have taken a fucking double bogey. But I think we're double digits over par now. Yes, we certainly are. Hole number 18. Let's check out what probably will be the final TikTok of the video, unless it's just really bad. Oh, I already love this one. Driving my 2018 Honda Civic to an 8-hour wedding day because my husband told me to lock in so we could buy a new boat. So I have a fundamental issue with this as a dude who drives old cars and has intentionally engineered car payments out of my life. This girl is saying that she is fucking picked on because she's driving a 2018 vehicle. You guys, it's 2026. I realize this Honda was probably manufactured. It came off the assembly line in like 2017. It's just not that fucking old, especially for a Honda Civic. Okay? This girl thinking that she's picked on because she's driving a 9-year-old car is she's pretty fucking stuck up. So she thinks she's a photographer and she's a stay-at-home mom. She says her husband's already got a name picked out for the boat. Is it going to be the Gilded Lady by any chance? So guys, we've got another entitled fucking TikToker here that thinks she's being picked on because she has to drive a 2018 Honda Civic. That thing would probably run for 300,000 miles if you change the oil regularly. I can't believe these young whippersnappers, god damn it. Okay, Wade Hampton, 18th hole. We're 11 over, which is a good score normally, but not a very good score today. No, it's a good score. 260 down 10 feet. We're just gonna beat the piss out of let's go with the Callaway Big Bertha and try to not sky the fucker this time. Got to move it a little further into the front of our stance. It doesn't have the same size of face as a normal driver does. Oh, we got a hold of that fucker. It's lofted to 12 degrees though, so it's not going to be like Bryson DeChambeau long, but that was still a good shot. Solid shot, slightly over the top according to the launch monitor, and it went quite a ways for being an old 90s driver, guys. This thing used to be the pinnacle of technology. Now it's like looking at an old fucking Buick. Used to be the pinnacle of technology, and we can put this one up because the round is effectively over. Foof says the permanence of people tying their tubes makes him shake his head. I get it, dude. I got a vasectomy when I was 30 or something. My wife and I never really wanted kids. We kind of wanted to pursue our careers. We were both firstborn children, and I wouldn't say our childhoods were awesome. So we decided we didn't want kids pretty early in the game. But I think I got my vasectomy. She was on birth control. She was actually on the IUD for a long time. And then I finally got my vasectomy. We said, listen, we're not having any fuck trophies. And I got my vasectomy in 2012 or something. So I get what you're saying, but I don't get what you're saying. We personally didn't want any kids. We were going to be those assholes that pursued our career instead. So 192 I'm thinking, my body's telling me and my mind are both telling me to hit a 7 wood here. And we'll see if we can't get down there and maybe claim a birdie. And then I will bid you guys adieu. I have some video editing to do. That's drifting left, and there's water right in its wake there. We'll see what it does. Okay, that wasn't a bad shot, but for some reason it drew. Like, that's the same exact fucking shot shape that I have 9 times out of 10, and it produces a slice. Go figure. Okay, 34 yards out of normal rough. Let's check the heat map of the green. So I know we don't want to be over in the blue part on the right. We will be, effectively, we will be fucked. 34. Let's hit it like 20 something and let it dribble down. That's not what I had in mind. That was 20 yards of carry in the launch monitor software, but only 19 yards of carry in GSPro, which wouldn't have made a bit of difference, honestly. We've still got a long putt. We can probably get out of here with a par. 22 and a half feet. 22 and a half feet. We might have one more follow-up putt. Nope, we're done. Okay, there's that ugly fucking baby of a scorecard there. Back 9 was not good to us. We shot a 43 on the back. Well, I guess we only shot a 40 on the front. Not terrible. I had a good time. There's your scorecard. My only real regret is this double bogey. I don't really like double bogeys. You can see the average ball speed has dropped almost 15 miles an hour between round 1 and round 2, which means I'm getting tired and I need to go find something to eat and stretch and get ready for my work week. Foof says, who's Dyson Rochambeau? I don't know. Ask the golf sidekick, dude. I swear to God, he says Bryson's name different every time he pronounces it. It's kind of funny. And then Foof says, so up further, back to the permanent sterilization thing we were talking about. Foof says if the woman decides to do an IUD or something, then I think it's okay. But permanently altering your body at a young age, I just don't understand. Yeah, dude, I get it. But it's not against the law, and that's what that gal chose to do, or she's saying that a lot of younger girls are choosing to do. He's saying this lady we just looked at looks like she'd drive a Nissan Rogue and not a Honda Civic. She does look like a bit of a stuck-up bitch, but that still would maybe not a Nissan Rogue. And then Foof says it's one of those things where if you later decide you want to have kids, then there's no going back. At least with a vasectomy, you can store fluid before, so there's a way. Yeah, so I didn't store anything before. Like, we genuinely didn't want kids. But if I wanted to get the vasectomy undone, like if we wanted to do a super geriatric pregnancy, because I'm 45 and my wife's 46, we could get the vasectomy undone. Or I could just have my neighbor come in and like cut a hole through a sheet so he didn't get to enjoy it and he could inseminate her. Yeah, that's fucking gross. I said it. I'm really sorry. It's a good thing you don't know who my neighbors are. Okay, guys, 2 decent rounds. One was for SGT and one was a random course GSPro picked for me. I am hungry and thirsty and I have some video editing to do. I got to get out of here. Foof, thank you for joining in the chat. Anyone else who was just lurking, watching the video, I appreciate you. If you want to subscribe, do. If you don't want to subscribe, don't. But hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. It helps a little bit with the algorithm. And Foof says the Jewish way with the sheet. I actually served in the military up in Montana. And there was a religious population up there that were, I believe they were Hutterites or Hooterites. And because there was already too much inbreeding going on, they would bring in outsiders. And I think they were German, so they would intentionally bring in like blonde-haired, blue-eyed dudes to like kind of add some, what do I want to say here? Add some variety to the population there. But I do believe they were like Hutterites or Hooterites or something. So yeah, that's where I first heard of the hole in the sheet method. I didn't even know Jewish people did it. But guys, I gotta get out of here. I will see you in the next live stream, which would probably be tomorrow, which would be Monday the 1st of June. You guys, can you believe it's already June? Genetic diversity, says Foof. Yeah, dudes, it's already June. So I got to get out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Have a good one, guys. Turbo Talon Golf signing out.